Good day, my dear students. So last time we have dealt with discrete probability distribution. Now we are going to find for the mean, variance, and standard deviation of a discrete random variable. I know you came across with these terms before. Now let's find on how to find these three using several examples. When we say mean of a discrete random variable, it is also the expected value of x. It is the weighted average of all the values that the random variable x would assume in the long run. It is also the expected value of x, or the expected value of x is the average of the outcomes that is likely to be obtained if the trials are repeated over and over again. So outcomes or values of x and their corresponding probabilities will be used in finding for the weighted average or the expected value of x. In finding for the expected value of x, denoted by E, quantity, big letter X, we will be using the formula. We have the sum of the product of the outcome or value of the random variable and their corresponding probabilities. So we'll just multiply the given outcome or x and their corresponding probabilities and then add them up. Then the acquired value will be the expected value of x or the mean. Let's take this first example. A researcher surveyed the households in a small town. The random variable x represents the number of college graduates in the household. The probability distribution of x is shown below. So we have the following values of x, 0, 1, and 2. Then their corresponding probabilities, 0.25, 0.50, and 0.25. So this is a discrete probability distribution. Since the sum of their probabilities is equal to 1, and their corresponding probabilities is greater than 0 but less than 1. So in finding for the mean or expected value of x, we'll have the following solution. So as you can see, we have three columns here. So yung first column natin, we have the values of x, and then we have the values of their corresponding probabilities, and then just multiply. So 0 times 0.25, we got 0. 1 times 0.5, we have 0.5. Then 2 times 0.25, we have 0.5. And then add them up, so we have 1. Therefore, the expected value of x or the mean is equal to 1. Is that clear? The conclusion will be, since the expected value is 1, the average number of college graduates in the household of this small town is 1. Okay, let's have the second example. A random variable x has this probability distribution. Using the same process, just multiply the given x value to its corresponding probability. Then after doing that, add the values in our last column, and the sum will be equal to 2.85. So that is the mean or our expected value of x. Is that clear? Let's have example number 3. A security guard recorded the number of people entering the bank every hour during one working day. The random variable x represents the number of people who enter the bank. The probability distribution of x is shown below. So we have the following values for x. We have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then their corresponding probabilities, we have 0, 0.1, 0.2, 0.4, 0.2, 0.1. The question is, what is the expected number of people who enters the bank every hour? So using the formula in finding for the mean or expected value of x, Or you can pause the video for you to answer the given example. You should get 3 as the value of our mean or expected value of x. That means there are 3 people who enters the bank every hour in that day. We now copy the variance of a random variable x, denoted by sigma square. Okay. It can likewise be written as var x. The variance of a random variable is the expected value of the square of the difference between the assumed value of random variable and the mean. In symbol, we have the following. So the variance is the expected value of the square of the difference between the assumed value of random variable and the mean. So x as the outcome, yung Greek letter mu natin is the population mean or the expected value of x. Then p of x, that is the probability of the outcome. One thing to consider, the larger the value of the variance, the farther are the values of x from the mean. Okay, now the standard deviation of a discrete random variable x is written as the Greek letter sigma. It is the square root of the variance. So, madali na lang ang pagkuha sa standard deviation kasi ang gagawin nyo lang, kapag nakuha na si variance, all you need to do is to take its root or extract it, and then yun na yung magiging standard deviation. Say for instance, the variance is equal to 9, therefore the standard deviation is equal to 3. O, uh, square root lang yung ating variance. Okay? Let's take the fourth example. Suppose we have the following. Here are the steps in finding for the variance and standard deviation of the following probability. Okay, step 1. Find for the expected value or the mean. Then the next step will be, after finding for the expected value or the mean, subtract the expected value from each outcome x, then square each difference. After that, multiply each square difference by the corresponding probability. Then sum up all the figures obtained in step 3. So that will be the variance of the discrete random variable. Okay, using our previous example, so we're going to construct a table on that. So we'll have 6 columns here. First column will be the values for x. Second column, values for our probability or p of x. Third column, dito natin makukuha yung ating expected value or the mean. And then after that, after finding for the mean, which is equal to 2.95, as you can see here, ayan, 2.95. Yun na yung gagamitin nating value ng ating mu or yung population mean. The Greek letter highlighted in red. So, o kaya nakuha si negative 1.95 dito, o kasi nga, 1 minus 2.95 will get negative 1.95. Then dito naman, 2 minus 2.95 will get negative 0.95. And so on. Okay? And then for the fifth column, or after getting the difference, square natin. Or you can square natin yun. So, negative 1.95 square will get 3.8025. Kung ano yung value na nakuha, yun ang ilagay mismo to be more accurate. So, we have negative 0.95 square will get 0.9025. Since we are squaring the difference in the fourth column, definitely, ang lahat ng sagot dito will be positive. So, squaring a negative number will give us a positive result always. Okay, after doing that, let's proceed to the last column. So all you need to do is to multiply the fourth column dito to the corresponding probability. O kaya nakuha si 0.570375 dito. Ayan ay galing, yan yung product ng ating fourth column and second column. So we have 3.8025 multiplied to 0.15, kaya nakuha si 0.570375. And yung iba. Okay, the same lang. And then after that, the last step will be i-add natin lahat yung nasa fourth column or nasa last column natin. Then we'll get the sum of 1.8475. So eto na yung ating variance. Is that clear? Okay. Next. As I said earlier, na kapag nakuha na yung variance which is equal to 1.8475, square root natin yan, yun na yung magiging standard deviation natin. So square root of 1.8475 will give us 1.359227. Okay, for the standard deviation, para maging formal or tawag dito, o isa yung sagot natin, standard answer, we'll get, you round it off to the nearest hundreds. Okay? O kaya yung standard deviation natin dito is equal to 1.36. Dito lang kayo mag-round off sa ating standard deviation. Okay, let's have example number 5. Determine the variance and standard deviation of the following probability distribution. You can pause the video while trying to answer this one. So for the solution, we got si 2.1 dapat nandito siya sa third column. Sorry for that. It should be here. Yung 2.1 natin, dito siya dapat sa third column. Yan yung magiging mean natin, ha? Yung population mean natin or yung mu, value ng ating mean. Okay. So we have the same process. 0 dito si x. Minus 2.1 yung mean natin. Kaya nakuha si negative 2.1. And the rest. Okay. Then after that, square the difference sa fifth column natin. So lahat positive. 2.1 square, that negative 2.1 square will give us 4.421. And then after that, multiply the fifth column to the second column. So 0.1 times 4.421, we got 0.441, and so on. Therefore, the variance now, after adding this up, yung lahat ng values natin sa last column will get 1.29. So that is our variance. Did you get it, class? Since we got 1.29 as our variance, the one with the square, then extract its square root of the variance, we'll get 1.14. Okay, yung symbol for standard deviation, yung sigma na lang. Yung Greek letter sigma, the one without square. Kapag may square, that's the variance. Kapag wala, then it is the standard deviation. Okay. There is an alternative method in finding for the variance and standard deviation of a discrete random variable. So you can use this one in your activity. If you are tasked to use the two methods, then do it. But in your exam, you can use either of the two. Okay po, because this will be this lesson, it will be included in your exam this coming Thursday. So the alternative method will be this one. Ito yung gagamitin nating formula. So yung magiging minuend natin, that is the product, the sum of the product of our, that is square of our outcomes and their corresponding probabilities. Yung subtrahend naman natin, we have the square of the sum of our outcomes, or x, and their corresponding probability. So we will be using the previous example in finding for the variance and standard deviation using this alternative method. Using the alternative method, we will be only needing 5 columns. One for x, then second one we have p of x, the probabilities. Then for the third column we have the product of x and p and the probabilities. Fourth column, just square our x's or yung value ng x natin. And then the fifth column will be the product of the fourth column. Yan. X squared multiplied to the values under p or yung probabilities natin. Okay? So for the solution, we'll have the following. Ito na siya. So 2.1 pa rin definitely yung ating yung expected value or yung mean natin. Yung fourth column, we have 0, that is 0 square. 1 square, we'll get 1. 2 square, that is 4. 3 square, that is 9. 4 square, that is 16. And then, multiply natin yung values ng ating fourth column sa second column. 0 times 0.1 will get 0. 1 times 0.2 will get 0.2. And so on. And then after that, i-add natin yung nasa last column natin. So we will get 5.7. Kitandaan, 5.7. So eto na yung magiging minuend natin. And then, yung subtrahend natin will be, using our formula, we'll get this one. 5.7, pansin nyo ito yung nasa last column natin kanina. And then, i-square lang natin yung nakuha nating value ng ating mean, which is 2.1. So 2.1 square will get 4.41. Then subtract it. Subtract it from 5.7, we'll get 1.29. The same value that we got using the general formula or the standard formula. Then, for the standard deviation, just extract it. Square root of 1.29 will get 1.40. Again, in your exam, you can use either of the two methods. Okay, so if you have any clarification, feel free to ask me, or don't hesitate to ask me. Okay, that's all for today. Goodbye and stay safe. God bless you all to your exam.